welcome back to the Film and TV channel. I hope you're all staying safe and well. And we're going over to Netflix for a horror mystery thriller series, 10 episodes, about 55 minutes to about an hour long episodes. We're going to take a quick look at The Midnight Club. Please, if you are new to the channel, push that subscribe button, push the bell notifications. And these vlogs are coming out to try and inform and entertain on all things film and TV with these reviews, previews, lots of different things, information vlogs. So it'd be great to have you on board, and please spread the word if you enjoy it. And if you do enjoy it, please give us a thumbs up. We all know if you've got Twitter or YouTube, it's nice to get thumbs up, isn't it? It's nice to get views and looks at and stuff, but when people give you a little thumbs up, brilliant. And even better, leave us your comment. Leave us your comment about The Midnight Club. I'd be interested to see what you think of it, if you've watched any of it. And of course, anything to do with film and TV, and I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can. Right, The Midnight Club, a 15 certificate. As I said, 10 episodes stretching over 55 to 60 minutes. So it's Netflix. So one of the biggest joys of Netflix is they don't serialise things, do they? You can watch everything all in one go. You're not having to wait week by week. And it's a horror mystery thriller created by Mike Flanagan and Leah Fong, with Flanagan serving as showrunner and executive producer, alongside Trevor Macy. Adaptation of the 1994 novel, so almost 30 years ago, of the same name by Christopher Pike, very well known to horror people. The series follows 8 hospice patients who meet up each midnight to tell sinister stories. It stars Iman Benson, Adia, Igby Rigney, Ruth Codd, Aya Furukawa, Anna Shepherd, William Chris Sumter, and Suryan Sapkota as the 8 named patients. There's some obviously other people appear in this as well. And it premiered on Netflix on October the 7th, and this review and any scores or stats I give you are as at October the 11th, 2022 at 12 noon here in the UK. So what are we thinking? Well, there's not much critic-wise at the moment as far as scores. There's nothing on Rotten Tomatoes as far as overall sort of scores, just to breakdown of the fresh and rotten at the moment. But we do get some information. The Rotten Tomato audience is a 60% positivity. That's good. Internet Movie Database is 6.9 out of 10. So again, very, very good. Although when something's been out early, you do tend to see that drop a little bit. That's the normally happens with things like Internet Movie Database. And about 86%, I've worked out, about 86% of people on Internet Movie Database are positive about it. I liked it, to some degree. And what's it about? Well, as we've said, it's a group of close terminally ill young adults reside in the Brightcliff Home Hospice run by an enigmatic doctor. They meet at midnight every night to tell each other scary stories. One night they make a pact that the first one to succumb to their disease is responsible for communicating with the others from beyond the grave. After one of them dies, bizarre occurrences begin. So, good, interesting premise. There's nothing wrong with that premise. And the first episode got itself into the Guinness World Book of Records for the most scripted jump scares in a single episode at 21. Yeah, there was quite a few. Trouble is with jump scares, they're okay, but if you get too many of them, it just gets a bit monotonous. Rotten Tomatoes, the critics, 85% approval. As I said, I don't know how that's broken down into fresh and rotten, but overall an average rating of 7.4 out of 10. That's based on 40 critics. And they say when they get older, put all their heads together, Mike Flanagan's hot streak of heartfelt horror stories continues strong in The Midnight Club, a tale of terminal teenagers told with jolts and joie de vivre. There it is. Metacritic, the other site we look at, uses an average assigned 64 out of 100 based on 21 critics. So again, still very, very good. We'll name and shame a handful of these critics. We've got Al Horner from Empire Magazine, a very noteworthy periodical, who says a departure in some ways and classic Flanagan in others. The Midnight Club is another affecting entry into the prolific filmmaker's array of stories that make us think differently about mortality and morality. I don't know, I just wanted to be entertained and scared a bit. That's all I want. I'm not really bothered about mortality and morality. It's a horror. It's not real. It's a horror film. Leela Latif from The Guardian here in the UK said, occasional missteps aside, don't disagree with that. Flanagan's reference for the literature from which his work derives keeps this Pike tribute intriguing throughout. Yeah, I've heard that it does stick very well with the original novel, so if you're a fan of that as well. Uh, but obviously, it did feel longer. If I was reading this as a novel, I would have sort of glazed over occasionally. It does seem a little bit long at times, but certainly point taken on Leela Latif's critique there. Chris Wagner from San Francisco Chronicle. This could have been a movie, he said, with something to say about death and something to add to the horror genre. Instead, unfortunately, it's a slog. Yeah, okay. Some of the anthology elements, well, the anthology elements are the best bit for me. Are good. I mean, the group's dynamics do drag a little. So I suppose you could call it a slog it in that way. So I can see from where he's coming. Right, my little thoughts before we finish it. I'm going to score this, but I'm only going to give it a 5.5 out of 10. I'll almost give it a 6 out of 10, but having watched it and remembering the good bits of it, but not forgetting what I call a little bit boring at times. I think it was. I think it was a little bit boring. I mean, it could have been a great series. It's a great setup. It's it's an old house. It's youngsters. It's death. It's beat. It's a hospice. You know, it just sort of could have been great. It just ranks okay though at the end of it. It's a little bit of a disappointment. Obviously, it's perhaps aimed at a younger audience, but having said that, a younger audience still wants to be entertained and thrilled and scared, doesn't it? And despite spending lots of time, and it does with the main characters, I just find myself really wanting to get through those bits and waiting for midnight to come for the next little horror tale to be told by one of the characters. And for me, that was the best part of the series, the anthology part of it, where we got little tales of different things, some scary, some more poignant, different things, and that was the best. That's what worked for me really. In the same way, I like a good hour and a half anthology film with 3 or 4 short stories in it, and yeah, that was the best bit. Sadly, the other elements where you're supposed to get to know the characters, etc., not so much. And despite this, it's this sad and horrible situation. Let's face it, they're in a hospice. I didn't really invest in particularly in any of the characters. One or two were okay, but I didn't. I didn't really care that much about them, which is an awful thing to say, but I just didn't. They didn't sort of grow on me too much as the series progressed either. As I said, not all of them. Some did to some extent because you've got to spend 10 hours watching some are going to appeal to, others aren't. But it was a bit of a letdown on that thing. As far as the jump scares, yeah, they did become a little bit boring and lose their effect quickly. Although there are many genuine eerie moments within the series, within the 10 episodes, but say very long 10-hour episodes. I just felt it could have been better. And to be honest with you, they didn't say 6 episodes times 45 minutes and cut a lot of this out. I think it might have improved the value and worth of this tremendously. So there it is. Let me know what you think, guys. As I said, I'm just going to get 5.5, which is okay. It's an okay score. It's just okay. I just thought everything was in place. As I said, with some good anthology stories as well within it. Everything was in place for a really good series, both from the anthology side and both from the guys in the hospice day-to-day lives as well. But it just lacked a little bit. Let me know what you think. Until we meet again, I want to one thing, don't I? Please stay safe, everybody. Bye for now.